Welcome to the ultimate guide to unlocking all 6 cursed relics in Black Ops 7 Zombies Astra Malorum. This will include the easiest way to unlock each relic, as well as give you the most accurate explanations for each to avoid and resolve any confusion. Let me know if this guide helps you in the comments, and if it does, feel free to drop a like rating for the YouTube algorithm. Jumping straight in, before you can begin unlocking relics on Astra Malorum, you first need to have completed the Astra Malorum Easter egg by successfully beating the boss fight. Now, this can be in standard or directed mode. As long as the Easter egg has been completed, you will now be able to access the challenges to unlock relics within Cursed on Astra Malorum. Jumping into the relics, there are 6 total, but first you'll only be able to unlock the 2 new relics within the Grim tier, which can all be discovered after reaching round 20 in a game of Cursed. Starting off with how to unlock the Gong Relic, on or after round 20, you are going to need to acquire the Dead Wire ammo mod, as well as have the Tesla Storm Field upgrade equipped. And after round 20, you'll notice that a zombie will spawn carrying a lightning rod attached to its body. Here's a few examples of what this lightning rod zombie will look like. And the idea is that we're going to lead this zombie over to 3 different lights above doors, shoot the zombie with our Dead Wire ammo modded weapon, and then activating Tesla Storm immediately afterwards, and you'll notice there will be a chain reaction connecting the zombie to the light illuminating it. One of these light locations can be found in the doorway in between the Luminarium and then outside. Second can be found in the Observatory Dome in between the doors that take you from Pack-a-Punch and over towards Mule Kick. And the third and final one is going to be found within the library within Machina Australis. And you'll want to repeat this across all 3 lights to get them all activated to hear the Mr. Peaks laugh. Now, it is incredibly easy to accidentally kill this lightning rod zombie during a normal round, so the easiest way to keep it separate to the main horde of zombies is start a fresh round in the spawn room, train up all of the zombies, and then run away to the opposite side of the map by Wisp T. What this does is it despawns all of the zombies, but the lightning rod zombie never despawns, so it will manually be running across the map from the spawn room over to where you've ran to, giving you around 15 to 20 seconds to take down as many of the newly respawned zombies as possible, whilst also looking in the direction of where you just ran towards in order to see if you can find the lightning rod zombie. Doing this pretty much guarantees that the lightning rod zombie will never be accidentally killed, giving you the best opportunity to get this relic trial unlocked. Now, you will need to run a specific augment set for Deadwire and Tesla Storm in order to guarantee this to work. On Deadwire, you want to run the Lightning Strike Major Augment, and then for the Minor Augment, simply run a Haste Minor Augment and nothing else. And for Tesla Storm, you don't want to run any major augments on it, but for minor augments, run Lithium Charged and Amped. If you attempt this with no augments on Deadwire or Tesla Storm, then Deadwire is just going to keep killing the zombie rather than actually shocking it, as the challenge itself doesn't involve you killing the zombie, it's simply shocking it, and then chaining the lightning from Tesla Storm over to the lights. Now, by no means is this required to complete this, but you can try this with the Bus Relic if you have it unlocked, as it will make it easier for you to complete all 3 lights with one single lightning rod zombie on the same round. Once all 3 have been lit up, the relic trial will spawn just outside Pack-a-Punch and Stargazer's courtyard, and the relic trial for this is that zombies can only be damaged by electric damage. But if you have the Deadwire ammo mod on your primary weapon, regardless of the ammo mod activating, just having it on a weapon will allow you to damage zombies and get through this relic trial. Now, on the second wave, you will have HVTs to deal with, and these will be the Uber Klaus Iron Man robots, which aren't too bad. But on the 4th wave, you will have another HVT round where you need to deal with an Uber Klaus, and again, can only be damaged by your weapon that has the Dead Wire ammo mod on. I definitely recommend you come in here with Legendary Rarity and Pack-a-Punch 3 on your weapon, along with Casimir's and Ether Shroud, just so that you can have as much chance as possible and safety to unlock the Gong Relic. The effect of this relic is that field upgrades start charged, but can only be charged by full powers. Moving on to the second and final relic within the Grim tier, this is how to unlock the Seed Relic. In a game of Cursed on or after round 20, there is going to be a grey rarity pistol that is going to have spawned in one of 6 locations. There is a very handy graphic of where you can find this pistol. You'll find 2 possible locations in the observatory dome, either under the Pack-a-Punch machine or along a wall. 2 more spots can be just outside the front or back entrance to Machina Astralis, with one being behind the bar here, and the second being near Stamina Up. The final 2 spots are in the Luminarium, one near the Arsenal machine behind the Stellar Dissector, and another is in a small section where you can find one of the Mr. Peaks headphones. Once you've picked up this pistol, you need to kill exactly the number of zombies equivalent to the round that you picked up the pistol on. Naturally, you'll be trying this as soon as you get to round 20, so once you've picked up this pistol, you must now kill 20 zombies using the pistol. The easiest way to track your kills, press your back button and on scoreboard, go over to the right on weapon stats. If it's in your first or second slot, you'll be able to see how many kills you've gotten in the game with it. You can use that to see exactly how many kills you've gotten with the weapon on that round. Now, you can pack-a-punch this pistol, you can increase its rarity, and you can use power-ups like insta-kill to make this a lot easier. So what I recommend is once you've picked up this pistol, go ahead and activate the free insta-kill power-up, which can be found in Scholar's Way if you look right up here just outside the map. With the full horde of round 20 zombies, use them to help you get exactly the number of zombie kills equivalent to the round that you picked up the pistol on. You cannot go under, you cannot go over. You'll want to be fairly quick when you're looking for this pistol because the Ravagers can eat it. And if they do, then you're going to need to save and quit and reload the game in order to get the pistol to spawn in again. You can get ammo mods on the pistol and you can get perks like Wisp T, Elemental Pop, and PhD Flopper. It's advisable not to get those perks just in case they activate and give you an additional amount of kills which technically weren't with the pistol, making you fail the challenge. If you go over or under during the round, then you need to try this again on the following round, keeping that weapon. Once you've got the required kills, you then need to just finish out the round using any other weapon, and if successful, you'll hear Mr. Peaks laugh at the start of the next round, and the relic portal will appear at the back of the Pack-a-Punch room to the left of the ammo box. This relic trial is fairly easy because you simply need to survive 4 waves using only a tier 1 pack-a-punched pistol. This will be a grey rarity when you go into the relic trial, but you can use the Arsenal machine to upgrade the rarity to as high as you want. You can also put ammo mods on the pistol to help you take out the zombies. It is a pretty straightforward relic trial, but it will take you a while just because of how weak the pistol is. As mentioned, you can upgrade the rarity of the pistol, but sadly you cannot pack-a-punch the pistol to get it to PAP level 2 or PAP level 3. Waves 2 and 4 will have HVT mimics, so you're going to want to try your best to just focus fire on them whilst also running around the map, keeping your distance, and eventually you'll get the relic trial completed where you will have successfully unlocked the Seed Relic. The effect of this relic is that it disables the mystery box, which sounds terrible, but you can bypass this using certain gobblegums. Now that all 2 Grim relics have been unlocked, you can now start unlocking Sinister relics, but in order for the Sinister relic challenge to be activated, you need to be playing Cursed and Astra Malorum with a combination of unlocked relics so that the tier 1 golden armor unlock display in the Cursed menu is highlighted in red, which then increases your Cursed difficulty into tier 1, where you'll have to play with the effects of any combination of relics in order to be able to have the Sinister challenges activate in your game. Starting off with how to unlock the Spider Fang relic, which is easily one of the hardest relics to unlock in the entire game. But I have an incredible method which should guarantee you this on your first attempt. So in a tier 1 game of Cursed, we need to take Oscar out using a melee attack whilst the Wisp from the Wisp T perk is attacking him on or after round 40. Now there are so many variables that can make this a living nightmare. So before you attempt this, make sure on Wisp T that you have the Mask of Salvation major augment. Do not equip any of the other major augments because this will make it more likely that the Wisp itself will take out Oscar when you're attempting this and make this incredibly frustrating. On top of that, I highly recommend the extension and the haste minor augments. Now, if you're not being particularly careful with Oscar, if you're taking him out a lot before you get to round 40, this is going to be a near impossible challenge because of his health. I would highly recommend solely for this relic unlock to go to round 40 without doing any of the Easter Easter egg steps. That means not doing any of the steps in order to get the wonder weapon and simply leaving Oscar alone. The biggest trick towards making this incredibly easy by making sure you have a few things set up by round 40. The first is that you're going to want to have a tier 3 Pack-a-Punch knife. If you have enough relics to be in tier 2 difficulty, I would recommend it so you can get the ultra rarity applied onto the knife as well. Secondly, it's not necessary, but I highly recommend you bring in a Perkaholic and pop it immediately, because on your way to round 40, you want to do as many of the TED trials as possible to get as many of your perks to be eternal. If you don't have a Perkaholic, that's absolutely fine, but just try your best to buy 4 perks and point build as much as you can on your way to round 40 to get all of the perks and get as many eternal as possible, and you'll see why later on. You'll also want to make sure that you have Melee Macchiato as well as having the Wisp Tea perk. The final biggest tip is that throughout the game, whatever round you get the power on, you want to go ahead and only grab 2 nukes throughout your journey from the power being on to round 40. It's because whenever you grab nukes, that actually does an incredible amount of damage to Oscar. If you keep account of how many nukes you're picking up on your way to round 40, if you get 2 nukes, this will weaken Oscar enough to make this a lot easier, but it won't be enough that it will completely take Oscar out. Now, the final thing to guarantee this is to equip the following Gobblegums, being Idolize, Killjoy, and an optional one being Timeout. Once you are on round 40 plus and you have your Wisp activate, immediately pop the Timeout, which will despawn all of the zombies, then pop your Idolize, then your Killjoy. And as long as the mask is on Oscar when you're meleeing, and only meleeing Oscar when the mask is on him, as you see here, I insta-kill him. I immediately hear the Mr. Peaks laugh and the relic trial will have spawned. Depending on what round you activated the power, this will dictate how much health Oscar has, where 2 nukes might not necessarily take him down as quickly. In your game, as you see here, it's a near foolproof method, and if for some reason this doesn't work and you get Oscar to spawn in again, make sure you pick up 3 nukes before you attempt this again with the same Gobblegum setup, and you should hopefully get it. Now, an urgent PSA when it comes to this particular relic challenge is do not save and quit at any point between rounds 1 and 40, because if you do, it will spawn Oscar in with an entirely fresh batch of health that will be significantly higher to the health that he had in the original game. All the nuke damage Oscar took prior to your save will be wiped, and this will genuinely make Oscar just far too strong to ever take down, causing you to restart this entire round 40 run again, so just don't do it. And if by round 50 you still haven't done it, Oscar becomes a super sprinter at this point, which makes it incredibly difficult. So I would also consider a restart at that point. Now, the reason why I mentioned about the Eternal perks is that the actual relic trial itself for this, which spawns within the library, is that you have to survive 5 rounds with no perks. Now, if you have all your perks eternal, the game won't take any of your perks away from you. You'll still have all the perks. If you don't have them eternal, the game will take them all away from you. So I highly recommend that you bring in a Perkaholic if you haven't at this point, because the only way you can get perks in this trial is either by popping a Perkaholic Gobblegum or buying your perks from the Wonder Fizz. Now, because this trial is simply no perks, there are no limitations on what weapons you can use, what traps you can use, what equipment you can use. So this one is pretty straightforward, and a massive recommendation is to use the Apogee Annihilator trap, which is in Stargazer's Courtyard, and just relentlessly use it in between waves, especially when it comes to the HVT waves. This absolutely obliterates the health of HVTs and makes the HVT rounds a lot easier. And on your way to round 40, hopefully you will have gotten quite a lot of salvage, and if so, I definitely recommend crafting a war machine from the workbench, because this literally insta-kills HVTs. As soon as the war machine hits the HVT, they are gone. With the final HVT being an Oscar HVT, these have an incredible amount of health. You want to make this as easy as possible, definitely recommend a war machine. And once you've completed all of them, you'll have completed the trial and you'll have successfully unlocked the Spider Fang relic in the easiest method possible. The effect of this relic when equipped is that perk costs at machines never decrease. Moving on to our second and final Sinister relic for Astra Malorum, this is how to unlock the Matroyshka doll relic. In order to unlock this, you need to be in a tier 1 game of Curse in Astra Malorum and reach round 40 whilst having progressed enough through the Easter egg quest until the portal to Mars has been unlocked. Once it has, at the crafting table, you want to craft 3 pieces of C4. Make your way into Mars, and on Mars, in the middle circular platform in the middle of the arena, are going to be 3 pieces of meat around the edges of the circle platform that you're going to need to throw a C4 on each of. They are quite distinct looking pieces of meat, and you want to throw a C4 on each of them. And once you have, you want to group up a large amount of zombies, get them all to be standing in the middle of the arena, and then detonate your C4. And if done successfully, you will hear Mr. Peak's laugh. If for some reason this didn't work, then you're going to need to get more C4 and attempt this again with another horde of zombies. The relic portal will appear in Machina Astralis in the bar, and for this relic trial, enemies can only be killed whilst using a field upgrade. Now, the wording makes it sound like enemies need to be taken out with a field upgrade, but simply you need to kill zombies whilst a field upgrade is active. So a really good idea is to run Ether Shroud, and as soon as it's popped, go ahead and use something like the Wonder Weapon that just instantly take out zombies. Make sure you have a major augment on that allows you to continue using your weapon, unlike Void Sheath that I had on here, which swaps to my knife. Another good field upgrade choice is Frenzied Guard, where again, once it's popped, simply just shoot at the hordes of zombies. And what's good is that once your field upgrade runs out, it will just quickly recharge back again in about 10 seconds or so. So you won't need to worry about filling it by killing zombies or by getting any full power drops. It will just naturally recharge very, very quickly. Now, I definitely recommend having a PAP 3 ultra rarity weapon. So on round 40 plus, this is quite a difficult relic trial, especially when it comes to the HVTs. But a really great tip is that you can use the trap in the middle of the arena to take out zombies and HVTs as long as your field upgrade is active whilst the trap is doing its thing. As long as you have that field upgrade active, the kills will count and allow you to fly through these relic trial waves very quick and easy. You'll definitely want to use this for the final HVT wave because you have an incredibly strong HVT Oscar, and you're going to need to be lucky or patient to get Oscar over towards Stargazer's courtyard so that you can use the trap on him whilst your field upgrade is active. But eventually, you'll make it through all waves of the trial and you will have unlocked the Matroyshka doll relic. And the effect of this relic is that salvage drop rate is halved for the entire game. Now, moving on to the 2 wicked relics, these can only be unlocked on or after round 60 in a tier 2 game of Curse. So you need to equip a combination of tier 1 and tier 2 relics in order to put you into tier 2. You could even mix and match with a tier 3 relic. Just be mindful that you don't make the game too hard because we'll need to go to round 60 here. Starting off with how to unlock the golden Spork relic, you'll need to advance through the main Easter egg quest until you've unlocked the Mars teleporter. You'll want to go ahead and craft a mangler cannon from the workbench. Decoys will also make this a lot easier, but the way that you unlock this relic trial is that you need to be over on Mars, and ideally you want to be here on Mars at the start of a new round or when you have a whole horde of zombies trained up within Mars itself. You need to pull out your mangler cannon and actually charge a shot aiming at the teleporter on Mars. And then you need to take the teleporter from Mars back to Astra Malorum, then stand on top of this ritual circle in Machina Astralis, and then throw down some decoys to hold up a large number of zombies. And after around 10 seconds or so, the mangler cannon shot will come out of the teleporter and fire towards you, with the idea that the shot needs to take down enough zombies for you to hear the Mr. Peak's laugh. At the time of recording this, there is a bug where you can do this on literally any round, not even needing to be at 60. It's highly likely to be patched at any time, so I definitely recommend doing this the normal way by getting to round 60 plus. But if done correctly, the relic portal will spawn over at the crash site on the left side near the Gobblegum machine, and for this relic trial, you need to survive 6 rounds where enemies can only take damage whilst hip firing. Now, this is extremely easy if you have the LGM1 Wonder Weapon because you are only ever hip firing firing with it. Make sure that it is at least Pack-a-Punch level 3 and just simply train around the map, taking out zombies and HVTs using the LGM-1. Now, when it comes to taking down the HVTs, this is going to take you a little while because you need to make sure that the LGM-1 UFOs are focused solely on the HVTs, and you'll be taking down quite a few mimics, so definitely keep your space between them. Just keep training around the map and focusing on firing at those when you can. But the final wave is also with HVTs, including a HVT Oscar, and honestly, this is one of the most difficult relic trial challenges to complete in Astra Malorum in my opinion, because no score streaks do any damage here despite them being hip fired, so you really do have to use solely the LGM-1. Gobblegums I'd recommend here are Idolize as well as Killjoy to try and weaken this, and a really good strat but quite a dangerous one as well is if you hop up on here in Observatory Dome, zombies including Oscar sort of pile up whilst they try and climb up towards you, and as long as you keep moving left and right you should be okay, but be very careful of any Uber Klauses because their projectiles will get you downed here, so make sure they are taken out first. Use a combination of Ether Shroud as well to keep Oscar in one place, because ideally you just want this wonder weapon to be solely focused on him rather than taking out any other zombies. For me, this took about 25 minutes to complete, so just have some patience. Make sure to be using Ether Shroud, Casimir's, anything to distract the zombies so you can focus your fire on Oscar, and eventually you will get this done. Unlocking the Golden Spork Relic, and the effect of this is that enemies deal double damage. And the second and final wicked relic is how to unlock the Civil Protector Head Relic. In order to unlock this, you need to be at round 60 or above, and over in the crash site, you're gonna want to use the Energy Mine Field upgrade by Tessie, and when it activates, it will activate Tessie's front headlights, which will be flashing 3 times, letting you know that Tessie is going to be showing you an individual order of headlights and brake lights that will flash in a certain order, which you're going to need to note down. This order will consist of the front, left, and right headlights, as well as the left and right backlights. Once the code has been fully displayed, Tessie's front lights will flash 3 times again, signifying that the code is about to be shown again. And this order will repeat infinitely throughout the game, so you don't need to worry about being on a quiet part of a round specifically here, as the order will be continuously repeating. Now, each of these lights on Tessie correlate to the position of 4 chandeliers inside of the museum. Thanks to the community, we have an incredibly helpful graph of the museum which shows you which headlight or brake light correlates to which chandelier. So in my game, the left headlight flashed first, which was A, then the right brake light flashed, which was D, then the left brake light flashed, which was C, and then the right headlight flashed last, which was B. So using this graphic, I'm going to be visiting those chandeliers in that order, and you're going to need to buy the PhD Flopper perk and cause an explosion by PhD near each of these chandeliers in order to extinguish the candle flames that are on these chandeliers. So if you are at any point confused by this, just take a look at the diagram specifically and look at the amount of candles that are in the diagram for each chandelier, as that will help you match up with the chandeliers that you're going to need PhD explode nearby in that order in order to get it right. If you input the order incorrectly, then you'll need to go on to the next round for the candles to relight so you can reattempt again. The order in your game will be different, and the order will also change every single round. So make sure to check out Tessie for the code before entering it on a following round. Double check it and then go ahead and PhD flop in that correct order. And if you've done it correctly, you'll hear Mr. Peaks laugh and a red trial portal will spawn at the spawn next to the Rampage Inducer. For this relic trial, every zombie is a sprinter, which sounds pretty horrible, but because you're on round 60 plus anyway, all the zombies are sprinters anyway, so it doesn't necessarily make any difference whatsoever. You just want to be constantly running around the map, and you can use any weapons, you can use any equipment, any score streaks, and again, you can use that trap in Stargazer's courtyard to try and take out as many zombies as you can, and especially use it when it comes to the HVTs, but a war machine is also incredibly useful here as they literally one-tap the HVTs. Once you've completed all the waves, you will have successfully unlocked the Civil Protector Head Relic, and the effect of this is that perk decays where every 100 kills, you will lose a perk. Hopefully by now you should have all of the Astra Malorum relics unlocked. One final tip I can give you is that you can save and quit when attempting any of these apart from the round 40 Spider Fang relic. It will reset Oscar's health and negate the entire strategy, making this a lot more difficult. Any other relic you can save and quit after the round requirement in order to get it, hopefully give you another attempt. If you found this guide useful, please drop a thumbs up as I would really appreciate it. And if you're looking for a full guide on all 9 cursed relics on Ashes of the Damned and any future zombies map, then click the guide for Ashes of the Damned right now on your screen and subscribe to not miss the relic guides for future maps.